Welcome back to My Sister's Diary, the podcast where it feels like you've snuck into your sister's diary and found all her unfiltered stories, confessions, and thoughts she'd never say out loud. Hi guys, that's my new intro, and I know it sounds super scripted because I literally read it off of my paper. I promise it'll get better, but I just want people, because I'm getting some new listeners, I want people to just kind of know what they're getting when they listen to the very beginning of the episode. So I'm going to start including that, and hopefully it'll sound more natural the more I do it. But welcome back. It is September, officially September. When I'm recording this right now, it's September 1st. When you're listening to this, well, actually, no. If you listen to it on the day it comes out, it'll be September 2nd. Either way, you will definitely be listening to it probably in September. This is honestly one of my favorite months, and let me tell you why. I love the summer. That's hands down my favorite months of the year is summer. But September is great because it's low pressure. Like there's no crazy big holidays. There's like Labor Day and that's it, I think. But Labor Day is a chill holiday. Like it's just for fun. Yeah, the weather is really great in September for the most part. I don't think we've ever gotten snow that I can think of in September. So it's really nice. It's cooling off. It's finally not like burning my face to go outside every single time. It's still like 85 degrees outside, but you know, I can handle that. 100 plus degrees I can't handle. So I'm thankful that that time of the year is gone. And you know, I actually had my first spark of excitement this last week for fall. I'm not like a crazy fall person. Not that being a crazy fall person is bad. I love that for you, but I just don't get like, oh my gosh, I love fall so much. I do love it. But the thing is, I love summer more. Okay. You guys know. You know I love summer, so I'll stop talking about it. But I had my first spark of excitement, and let me tell you why. Last year, I found the most amazing pumpkin bread recipe in the world. It is so moist, and sorry if you hate that word, but it's 2025, so get over it. It's moist. It's delicious. It tastes like pumpkin. It has everything you could possibly want. It tastes like, the pumpkin bread. What is the place? Kneaders. If you've ever had pumpkin bread from Kneaders, this recipe I found tastes just like it. It's so freaking good. I'll have to share it. I'll share it on my Instagram story so you guys can screenshot it, but I am excited to make that. And the next kind of thing update about the podcast, like I added in the little line at the beginning. And the other thing is when I do like the life updates or like things I want to talk about, I never know what to call it. And when I started the podcast, I had an idea and I just kind of forgot about it. So when I do my life updates and things I want to talk about, it's my diary. So like I'm reading you my diary for the week. So reading my diary entries, whatever. I'll say something along the lines of that. Not that you guys care about the exact format of the podcast, but just so you know what's going on when I say these things, you'll be in the know now. So let's read my diary for this week. A little half marathon update. If you guys listen to my episode, I can't remember. It's like the second episode maybe, where I told you about like some of my New Year's goals, and I have not done a single thing. Literally nothing. I'm going to start this week though. I really am. I'm going to start this week. I only have 8 weeks to train for it, which is crazy. But I've been working out, just not doing long distance runs. I've been doing not like free weights by myself, but I go to like Surge and I go to a lift class and bar. And I mean, I do weights and it's a little bit of cardio. So hopefully I'm not too out of cardio shape that I can get it done in 8 weeks. I know people who are runners who are listening to this are like, you're stupid. You are literally stupid. And I know I am. And this is the third one I've signed up for. This is the third half marathon I've signed up for, and it will probably be the last one. You know, I always had in my mind that I wanted to run a marathon, but I don't actually want to. I don't really love running that much. I do I don't know, I go through phases. Like once I get into running shape, it's good. I like it, but also I get bored. You guys know how long it takes to run a marathon? It takes hours, and I don't like doing the same thing for hours at a time. So why would I want to run for hours at a time? I don't know. Anyway, I already signed up for this one. I'm going to do it. Even if I have to walk, I'm going to do it. It'll be fine. I don't care. I'm not embarrassed to walk at all. I will do it. And my goal is to run, but if I have to walk, I'll do it. Like if my body's not ready to run the whole time, I'm not going to like tear my body apart just to finish. I will listen to my body, take care of my body, and I might have to walk a lot of it, and that'll be fine. That'll be just fine. It'll just take me, 8 hours, and that's fine. Okay, the next thing is in my diary, I scheduled family pictures, which you guys may not care about, but here, let me tell you why it's important. I had a baby last year, and it's been, let's see, he was born in June, so it's been a little over a year. And since then, I have 2 pictures of my entire family, like all my kids and my husband and I, 2 pictures, and they were taken on an iPhone, and they were taken this summer, which is a really big bummer. I'm actually really, really mad at myself that we don't have any pictures of the whole family when he was younger. But, I can't go back. There's no going back. The last family pictures that we took some with my extended family, like my parents and my siblings and stuff. But the last time we had just like my little family pictures was when my daughter was born, and she's turning 5 on Wednesday. So 5 years ago. 5 years ago was the last time I had professional pictures of like my little family. Besides, I have a couple here and there from when we had like my extended family pictures, but I only have like 2 or 3. Anyway, I'm excited. And here's your sign. If you guys are on the fence about doing family pictures, do it. Just do it. I know it's expensive. You don't have to pay somebody. Just like what I mean is like, it's good to pay somebody if that's what you want to do. But even if you don't have the money to do it, just get somebody to take a couple iPhone pictures for you, because you're going to want that. You're going to look back and be like, I wish I had a family picture during that time. And you know what? I think the reason I didn't want to take a lot of pictures when my son was born was because I didn't like the way that I looked, which is stupid. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it like that. And I wish I didn't care so much about the way that I looked, because now I have no pictures of it. And I can't even like go back and look at pictures of me and my baby or anything like that, because I was like, no, don't take a picture of me. And I wish I hadn't been so stupid during that time, because now I regret it. All right, last thing, speaking of babies, is I am attempting to wean my baby. I'm still nursing him. I'm ready. I'm not like emotional about it, I wouldn't say, but I'm just lazy. Like, it's super convenient to just go somewhere and not have to bring a bottle, not have to do that. If he's grumpy and hungry, I can just feed him. Like anywhere I go, it's literally attached to me. I can feed him anywhere. And that's really nice. And he hates bottles. He hates them. We made the mistake of never introducing one, like ever, when he was a baby. I think you need to do it like right when they're born, because we did the same thing with my daughter. When they were like 3 months old, we kind of tried a bottle and they wouldn't take it. So I wish if we were going to have another baby, we would do this, but we're not. And introduce the bottle earlier, because now it's going to suck. It's going to suck to wean him. He's going to be so mad about it. And I should just like do it cold turkey, but I also gave away my breast pump. So I don't really have a way to like relieve the pressure from myself if I do that. So I'm trying to do it slowly. If anybody has, I'm genuinely serious. If anybody has any tips for weaning your baby, please message me, because I would love to know. I forgot, like always, to introduce the topic for today. The topic is things my family still roasts me about. So this is like things that happened a long time ago, whether they're embarrassing or funny or I don't know, something like that, and your family still roasts you about it. They still bring it up. That's what we're doing. And you know what made me think of this is we're coming off of family reunion season, and I feel like a lot of times when you're at a family reunion, you do a lot of reminiscing, and these things get brought up a lot, because they're funny and you like to tease people about them. So that's kind of what made me think about it, is because we've had a lot of family reunions in the last couple of weeks, and I just thought it would be fun to hear everybody else's stories. So that's what we're going to do. A couple of my own before we get started. I posted on TikTok and on Instagram to ask like my audience. I thought I would do something different this time to get submissions, and it was kind of fun. Well, it was really fun. I don't know why I said it like that. It was fun to do it that way. But I posted on there in the comments, I posted that when I was a tween, and I was probably like 12. Yeah, probably 12. Way too old to be doing this. Way too old. And my mom had this exercise ball that was shaped like a peanut, it wasn't a circle. It was like an oval, like a peanut, but it didn't have like an indent in the middle. It was just like a bean. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, my older sister did this too, okay? Just to let you guys know, but I won't go into detail about her performance. I'll just tell you about mine. Anyway, we decided to do dance routines using this exercise ball, and we recorded ourselves doing it on like a camcorder. And I can't remember what song I did. Actually, no, I think it was a Nickelback song. I'm pretty sure it was a Nickelback song. What's the song? It's like, I love you. I don't know. I can't remember the name of that song. I'm pretty sure that's the song. I will not be showing you guys the footage. I'm sorry, but it is too embarrassing. It's literally, when you're watching AFV, well, I don't know if anyone else watches, but my family likes to watch it. And there's like ones of teenage girls and they do something embarrassing and it's like hard to watch because you're like, that is actually like embarrassing. It's like not funny embarrassing. It's just straight up embarrassing. That's how this is. It's like it's almost so embarrassing that it's not even funny. And my family loves to bring it up. My family loves oh, you know what the worst part was though? My older sister posted my video on Facebook for people to see. And there's a part of the video where my underwear is poking out. It's so incredibly embarrassing. And when you're 12, that's like the worst thing in the world. That's the worst thing that had ever happened to me in my whole entire life was my sister posting that on Facebook for all my friends to see. And I'm pretty sure we were camping when it happened and she was not with us for some reason. And I don't remember how I found out that it was posted. Actually, I think one of my aunts was like, wow, this is so funny. And I cried. I cried hard. And my mom made my sister take it down. Oh, that gets brought up quite a bit. We talk about the ball. You know what we call it? We call it the Ball Olympics. Yeah, that's what we named it. Anyway, it's so embarrassing. I would show you guys, I really would, but I can't. I can't do that to myself. I won't allow that video to be on the internet. I can't let it happen. The next one. Most of these you've heard. I just can't remember. I think that I've told this. I've never told anybody about the Ball Olympics ever. Besides, I think I told my best friend in high school and she told somebody. I don't know. Maybe she didn't. I think she saw it though, which is embarrassing. I can't believe I let her see it. And anyway, let's move on from the Ball Olympics. I don't want to talk about it anymore. The next thing is on vacation one time. I'm pretty sure this was me. I was asking my siblings about it and no one could really remember who it was, but I'm pretty sure it was me who we went on vacation and I had to use the restroom and it was not number one. And I clogged the toilet. I'm pretty sure it was me. If I'm wrong, if any of my siblings are listening to this and they're like, no, that was me, please tell me. But I'm pretty sure it was me. And then there was no plunger. There was no plunger there. So we had to go to the front desk and ask for the plunger. And I was so embarrassed. I made my older brother go with me and I'm pretty sure I made him ask for it. But yeah, we talk about that one, not like super often, but quite often. But that story also reminds us of one time, one of my other siblings, I won't tell you who it was at my house, I think. Yeah, and I didn't have a plunger. Gosh, I can't remember now. It might have been my brother's house. He was at one of either my house or my other brother's house. Okay, hold on. I just kind of added who it was. Anyway, my sibling was at one of our houses and that house didn't have a plunger. So they had to walk over to my house and get the plunger and do like a walk of shame back to the other apartment. And we do bring that one up quite a bit. My family has issues with plungers, apparently. Okay, the last one is, this one is like, we do talk about it quite a bit with my extended family. And when I think about it, I was trying to be funny, but it also wasn't funny. So let me tell you, we were playing in the church gym because we had a family Christmas party there. And one of my uncles we were playing soccer and he kicked the soccer ball all the way across the gym and it smacked me in the face so hard it knocked my glasses off my face. And it like smacked my head around. So I like turned my head around and was like holding my face and everyone was like dead silent for a second. And then I remember I was like, okay, be cool, Sam. So I like looked up at him and gave him like this really bad scowl face. And I was like, that'll be funny. But I was also like really hurt. So it didn't look like it was trying to be funny. And we call that the look. And so every once in a while, actually, we talk about it quite a bit. People are like, oh, they just gave me the look. And that's what the look is. It's my mean, grumpy face. So yeah, if you guys ever see the look, then I will pray for you. Okay, let's move on from my stories. I know people are probably bored whenever I tell mine, so I'm sorry, but let's move on to your stories. Like I said, I asked on TikTok and Instagram, and then I also had a anonymous submission box open. So I will keep all of these anonymous. I'm not going to call anyone out by name, but some of them you can see on my Instagram and TikTok if you really want to do that. So there was not enough time to pick all of them. So I picked some. Let's start us off right here. It says, I was trying to get my parking pass in college when they asked what kind of car I had. I said a Chevy Chrysler. The lady looked at me like I was crazy and said something like, that's not right. And I was like, well, I don't know then. You guys, I had to Google this one. I was like, well, what's wrong with Chevy? Like, why is that not right? It's because Chevy and Chrysler are both brands. So you can't have a Chevy Chrysler. It'd be like having a GMC Chevy or like I don't know. I'm not a car person. Okay. Robbie we'll be driving and he's like, oh, look at that, the Pontiac. And I'm like, okay, where? I don't know. And he's like, it's silver. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. If you told me to tell you the difference between like a Dodge and a Ford and we were driving on the highway, I wouldn't be able to point out which one unless I'm literally staring at the logo. I don't know what the car is. And Robbie can tell just by the shape of the car. And I'm like, I can't tell. I literally can't tell. And it doesn't make any sense to me because I feel like they changed the shape as years go on. Like a 2010 Dodge doesn't look the same as a 2025 Dodge, right? I don't know. He can tell, and I don't understand it. It's a superpower of his. My brother does the same thing. He's like, look at that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, how do you know what that is without looking at it? I don't know. Anyway, I would do the same thing though. I would do this. I feel like I've done something similar, taking my car to like the car shop or something in high school. And so I just got to the point where I was like, hey, I'm Jeff Craney's daughter. I brought in the silver car. And they're like, okay, I'll look it up. Because I just didn't want to say what it was because I knew I'd be wrong. I would probably say something like Chevy Chrysler. Okay, next one says, I accidentally put a half a cup baking soda instead of half a teaspoon while making cookies at like 8. And they still remind me not to do it at 23. First of all, making cookies by yourself at 8 years old, that's impressive. They should be patting you on the back and like telling you thank you for even attempting that. The other thing is, what I bet they were so gross. I'm sorry. I wonder what because I feel like it wouldn't rise, or maybe it'd rise too much. I feel like we've all done this. We've all done a cooking blunder. Like we've tried to make cookies or we've tried to make something for dinner and it burned, or we didn't put in the right ingredients. And it's just kind of like a rite of passage. Like you have to do it. It just happens. And I remember when I was a kid, I was banned from I was banned from baking cookies because honestly, I was just in it for the cookie dough. I would just make it, eat the cookie dough. And then obviously I didn't eat all the cookie dough because I would probably die, but I would eat the cookie dough and then I'd make cookies with whatever was left over. And then I would forget about it because I didn't care. I didn't care about the cookies anymore. And they would always burn. And one time my dad pulls them out of the oven and he's like, you're not allowed to make these anymore. And I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. They burn every time. It's a waste of resources. And I was like, you know what? You're right. But I was actually pretty bummed. And now I make some pretty dang good cookies. I make some good cookies because I don't burn them anymore. I actually pay attention. Anyway, sorry to like bring that back onto me and be like, wow, I'm so amazing. But yeah, I think we've all done this. And you're going to get made fun of. That's just how it is. Okay, next one says, for a family activity, I taught my family how to do the hoedown throwdown. As you should. As you should. The hoedown throwdown is a dance that everybody should know. It's like the Cotton Eye Joe. Actually, I don't think I know the whole Cotton Eye Joe. I don't think I know the Cotton Eye Joe at all. It's like, you know what? Actually, I don't think there's a single dance that I know all the steps to. Even the Cotton Eye Joe. Yeah, no, I could not do it. But I could do the hoedown throwdown if I had a little refresher first. Because one time when Kate and I were doing Call Your Sisters, this had nothing to do with the podcast, but we were hanging out because we were making stuff for Call Your Sisters, and we decided to teach ourselves the hoedown throwdown. And it's actually really freaking hard, okay? For me, a person who has no musical, well, I don't know. I play the guitar and I used to play violin. So not that I don't have any musical abilities, but I have no dancing abilities. I have absolutely no dance abilities or coordination is is more like it. Like, I have no hand-eye coordination. My brain doesn't connect to my limbs when there's a beat around. It just doesn't. It doesn't work. And that was the hoedown throwdown was hard. It was hard to learn, but we did it. And there's video evidence of it out there somewhere. So I'm going to find it and I'll post a reel for you guys showing you the hoedown throwdown. And it'll probably be embarrassing, but I'll do that. I'll do that instead of the ball Olympics. Okay, I will never show you the ball Olympics, but I'll show you Kate and I doing the hoedown throwdown. And I think that's a great activity to teach your family. It's wholesome. It's fun. Everybody can do it. And I think that was great. So I do love, though, that they're like, hey, you're going to teach us the hoedown throwdown again? Something like that. I love that. That's a great joke. Okay, next one says, I drove through a garage. This is an easy mistake, okay? Because the garage is right there. It's right there by the car. So, of course, it's easy to run through the garage. This actually reminds me of my mother-in-law. Maybe she won't love that I tell people this, but I don't think she listens either. So anyway, she drove through their garage. It wasn't her fault, though. The brakes went out on their truck, and so she hit their garage door and like some of the bricks next to the garage door and broke the garage door, and they didn't replace it for like 15 years. They had like this canvas curtain type thing that they had hung up to keep, it from getting super cold in the garage. And they didn't fix it for so long. So hopefully you were able to fix the garage sooner than that. Because, I don't know, maybe not. The curtain worked just fine. This also reminds me, though, of one time when I was in college. My brother and I were hanging out. And we saw this news article from where we're from. And it says 61-year-old or something, 60-something-year-old woman drove into the local bank. And we're like, oh, what an idiot. We're like... Of course she was 60. Like, oh, she's so dumb. We were being mean, okay? We did not have any empathy in our body at the moment. And then we get a call from our mom, and she's like, so grandma got into a car accident. It was my grandma. It was my grandma who ran into the bank because she got her brake and the gas mixed up. That's the story that I heard. Don't ask me how she didn't know, like, why she was trying to hit the brakes if she was back. Maybe she pulled into the parking lot and tried to stop, but then just accidentally hit the brake. I don't know. Anyway, we felt really bad after that. And, since then, when I read news articles about old people doing stuff, I don't call them stupid, because I'm going to be that person someday. I'm going to be that person. Okay, next one says, when I was in high school, I tried to help my mom by making meatloaf. But I browned the beef before forming it. It was so crispy, and I still hear about it. I'm sorry, but there's no way to ruin meatloaf because it's already ruined. Meatloaf, just think about the word meat loaf. A loaf of meat. I'm just not a meatloaf person. Maybe there are people out there, but to me, it's always dry and crispy. Maybe I just don't know how to make meatloaf right, but I don't think there's a way to ruin it because it's already ruined when you make it. But yeah, like I said, there's always a story about ruining food when you're a kid that will stick with you forever, and it'll continually be talked about. My brother, one time, my aunt and uncle were at our house, and they had come from pretty far away, and it was my dad's birthday, I believe, and my brother wanted to cook the steaks out on the grill. And so my dad let him, and he burned the shiz out of them. They were literally charcoal. And everybody, actually, I don't know that everybody still ate them, but my uncle did. He's like, wow, these are really good. And we still talk about it. We're like, don't let cook the steaks or cook the burgers or whatever. He's actually a really good cook. And that was just a one-off thing. I think he was still in high school. But yeah, we still talk about that. So we can relate to talking, like messing up on a food thing and it being a conversation for the rest of your life. It's how family works, okay? Okay, next one says, I stole cigarettes from my dad literally 12 years ago, and my uncle still brings it up every Christmas. What is it with uncles and bringing up memories at an inappropriate time? Like, Christmas time doesn't seem the time to be like, so remember that one time when, actually, that's not an uncle's voice. Let me try again. So remember that one time when you stole your dad's cigarettes? That was really funny. No, we're trying to talk about Jesus and Santa. So let's not bring up the cigarettes. It's not an appropriate time. Okay, next one says, My brother and I were wrestling, and he fell with his full weight and kneed me right on top of my foot. I thought my foot was broken, so I told him to go to get the Sorry, I can't talk. I thought my foot was broken, so I told him to go get me the crutches my mom had when she sprained her ankle. My siblings will never let me forget that. This was my own sister. I have to say this because there's more context to the story, okay? The reason we don't, she was like very dramatic about it when she asked, okay? She was like laying on the ground and she's like, will somebody please get me the crutches? And we're like, stand up. We were mean. I didn't realize her foot was hurt that bad. I didn't even realize her foot was hurt at all. I was just like, well, just stand up. And I don't think we did get her the crutches, but she had a bruise on her foot. And I'm pretty sure it like left a scar somehow, like a bruise scar. Like she still has a dark spot on the top of her foot. So who knows? Maybe there was a broken bone in her foot. But anytime anybody gets hurt in our family now, we're like, oh, do you need us to go get you the crutches? We're so mean. We are so mean, but that's how we show love. Okay. All these stories, when you make fun of your family, that's how you show them that you love them. At least in my family, that's how we show them that we love them. The more I make fun of you, the more I love you. That's how I work. Okay. Next one says, there's a lot of car ones. There's a lot of you guys who don't know how to drive. Next one says, I accidentally drove my whole car on the sidewalk, all 4 tires. I will never hear the end of it. One time my friend, his GPS told him to turn left, and so he did, but it turned left onto a golf course road. Like it was for golf carts, but he's got his whole car on there. And yeah, that one is really funny when you told us about that, but that just reminded me of that. But yeah, how does one end up on the sidewalk? Like, were you trying to park and you just like ran onto the sidewalk? I don't know how that happens, but my family would absolutely not let me live that down. There's something about cars or vehicles that just are like a special thing that families stick onto. Like no, that wasn't I was going to say like my brother, but that was my friend who ran into the golf course. But we have a couple other family members. Like one time there was a thing with a motorcycle or a dirt bike. I think it was a dirt bike. Or when my aunt was like, oh, let me show you how to do it. And so she gets on it and drives, and she like drives up a fence pretty much. And we talk about that one quite a bit too. There's also another time when my mother drove up the side of a cattle guard and flipped her car over. We talk about that one quite often too. Don't ask me how she did that. I don't know, but I will ask her. Actually, I forgot about the story. I'm gonna call her after this and ask her about it. Okay, let's move on. Next one says, I once sang a song that I heard at a church Christmas musical called Rock You in a Manger, and I used a raspy voice to sing, and my sisters will still not let me live it down. Oh, when you're just trying to put yourself out there and you just want to, explore your talents. And there's something about siblings that like, we can't let you do something without making fun of you. That's just the rule. We can't let you try new things without telling you how bad you are at it. That's how it seems to be with siblings. And yeah, my sisters and I were always really embarrassed to sing in front of each other because we would make fun of each other so much. And I've heard my sisters sing now as like an adult, and they're good singers. Like they are good singers. So I don't know why we were so mean to each other, because we could have been famous. We could have been the girl version of the Jonas Brothers. Actually, I would have been Kevin. Kevin doesn't sound bad, but he doesn't sing. I would have had to been Kevin because my sisters sound better than me. That makes me sound okay. Not that Kevin is not a good singer. I actually saw a TikTok of him singing the other day, and I'm like, why hasn't he been singing the whole time? Because he sounds amazing. So don't get it twisted when I say I have to be the Kevin. I just mean nobody would actually want to hear my voice. People do want to hear Kevin. Anyway, I'm over explaining it. Anyway, if we hadn't made fun of each other so much, things could have been better. But we just have to. We can't let our siblings be confident, all right? That's just part of being a sibling. Apparently, we weren't very good siblings, I guess. But yeah, I digress. Let's move on to the next one, now that I've roasted the Jonas Brothers. This one says, my friend's family still roasts me about the time we went to San Diego together. I acted like the Little Mermaid on a rock and got blasted by a wave. Also ended up with a zig-zag sunburn. You know what's worse than your own family roasting you? Your friend's family roasting you. And that's it's all, maybe it is better because you don't see them as often, I assume, but like every time you see them, it's more likely to come up because that's like a very core memory to them associated with you. But like your family, maybe it doesn't always come up because you see them more often. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it's worse or better, but yeah, my family likes to roast well, and when I was in high school, I have one of my friends. We had a dog that died, got ran over by my brother on accident. It was very traumatic. And I remember I posted on Facebook and I was like, oh, our dog died. And I had told my friends about it. And so my friend gets on, she writes on my Facebook status, squish. She wrote squish under my Facebook status about my dog that died. And it did make me laugh. But my family, every time we would see her, my mom would be like, squish or something like that. And so I don't know if it's really roasting her, but yeah, we did not let her forget it. To this day, my mom still talks about it sometimes. But yeah. Also, back to your story. How do you get a zigzag sunburn? Now that I'm thinking about it, did you just put your sunscreen on wrong? Like you didn't get all the parts, or is it like you're swimming too? I don't know. Anyway, a sunburn is embarrassing sometimes. Actually, no, I never really get embarrassed about a sunburn. But I guess if I was with my friend's family and I got a really bad sunburn that like required a lot of attention, I would probably be a little bit embarrassed because I don't want to have a lot of attention. But yeah, zigzag sunburn, I don't know, kind of a flex, I guess, right? Okay, at least you got a sunburn. No, that's not good. Sunburns aren't good. All right, let's move on. Next one says, I got a rope burn in between my cheeks and my lady bits falling from a rope swing. I have no words. I have no words for this. That would hurt so freaking bad. Can you guys imagine? Like I've had rope burn on my hands before. Can you imagine that in between your butt cheeks? And then one step further on your lady bits. I know if you're a man, you can't imagine this. Imagine it on your man bits, okay? That would be so painful and you can't get away from it. You know, you have to walk around. And so like every time you walk, it probably burns because you got a rope burn down there. But, you know, shame on you. Not shame on you. Shame on your family for bringing up your lady bits all the time, right? Shame on them. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. I fear that would be one that would be talked about quite often with my family. Quite often. But yeah, rope swings. How did it get in between your cheeks, actually? How did it get in between your butt cheeks? How were you swinging? Have you guys seen that meme of Tarzan where he's like, there's a part in Tarzan where they just like animated it wrong and he's supposed to be grabbing on a vine, but he's not. And so someone like drew a picture where he's like squeezing the vine with his butt cheeks. I will find it, I promise. And I will put it on my Instagram because oh my gosh, I can't talk. That has to be what happened, right? Like how else would you get the rope between your cheeks? I don't understand. I need you to draw me a picture. Okay, next one says, I once tried to prove that I could kick the ceiling at our church building because one room had a very low ceiling. I kicked straight up, hit the ceiling, but landed flat on my back on the hard ground and knocked the wind out of myself. They still laugh about it all the time. I love a good throwback memory that we can all laugh about every time. And this definitely sounds like one of those for your family. Like you created that for your family. So they should thank you for making that memory for them. But I'm also honestly trying to picture again how one would think that's even possible. Like I would never look at a ceiling and be like, I bet I can touch that with my foot. I bet my foot can touch that. I would never do that. And maybe that's because I'm short. But I don't think I've ever heard anybody look at a ceiling and be like, I could touch that with my foot for sure. Because how would you think that would go well? How would you think you could put your foot on the ceiling and then make it land back on the ground in time? Right? Someone should have stopped you. Someone there should have been like, that's not going to work. You're going to backflop. But they didn't. Maybe they just anticipated it being a good family memory to talk about. I don't know. But yeah, I don't see how. Should I post a video? Should I post a video of me trying to kick the ceiling with my foot? No, because I couldn't even get close because I'm literally 5'3" on a good day. But yeah, I mean, good for you. Good for you for you. It sounds like you made it. So they shouldn't make fun of you because you did do it. Okay, next one says, there's something about falling. You know, like AFV, literally the whole episode is almost just a compilation of people falling or tripping or crashing or something like that. And for some reason, it's hilarious. I don't get it, but I also do get it at the same time. Okay, Last one. It says, when I was 12 years old, we were leaving for family vacation the next morning, so I decided to pluck my eyebrows. I finished up and decided to use the electric razor to clean up between my brows because I saw my mom use it. It was too wide and I shaved off a portion of both my brows. So then I decided to shave off both eyebrows to fix the mistake. My mom made me wear a bucket hat the entire summer and still jokes with me about it. Okay. If there's one thing I've learned about beauty mistakes is walk away. Walk away for 10 minutes. You know, you don't have to walk away forever. You can come back and fix it, but walk away. Give yourself a minute before you do it because you'll do something impulsive. Like when I messed up my hair in January and I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to dye it dark. I shouldn't have done that. I should not have done that. I should have just taken a breather, came back later and figured it out. But no, I decided to dump a whole freaking box of color on my hair, which was a huge mistake. Sounds like you needed to take a step back because maybe it wasn't that bad. Maybe you could have just filled in the front of your eyebrows, and it could have been just fine. But instead, you're like, well, I might as well go full send. I might as well just shave these bad boys off. Also, the growing back process of eyebrows is really not fun because they don't grow back in like a cute way. They grow back however they want. And yeah, I bet that was really hard actually for your eyebrows to come back. Oh, not your mom being embarrassed of you though. Like that's funny that she's like, yeah, I'm not going to be seen with you unless you wear a hat to cover those up. You have to wear a bucket hat and make sure you pull it down all the way over the top of your eyebrows. But that just reminds me, note to self, teach my daughter, because I did something similar. I didn't shave my eyebrows off, but I tried to use fingernail clippers. I told this in the last episode. So if you didn't listen, then go back and listen. I told the whole story. But I tried to use fingernail clippers to shape my eyebrows when I was probably 12. And this just reminds me that I need to teach my daughter these things before she tries to do it herself. And I feel like 10 or 11 is probably the age, like you show her how you do it on yourself. Maybe she's not ready. Maybe she's not old enough to do it by herself, but at least she'll know and not try to do it by herself. Be like, when you're ready, let me know if you'd like to do this. Or like shaving her legs. I feel like that one you could figure out, but also it's kind of dangerous. I cut my foot the other day and it still hurts. It hurts. I was going way too fast because I was in a hurry. And I literally took a chunk of my skin off. It was disgusting and it bled a lot. Why do razor cuts bleed so much? That may sound stupid, but like shaving your legs, like when you nick yourself, why does it bleed so much? It bleeds so much. I don't understand. Anyway, sorry, that was kind of a tangent. But yeah, I need to remember to teach my daughter these things before she tries to help her kind of avoid these situations. But it is also kind of another rite of passage. You have to do these things and that's how you learn. That's how you learn to not use fingernail clippers or not use a razor on your eyebrows. That's how you learn. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. I always, always, always appreciate your participation in these kind of episodes because I literally couldn't do them without you. And yeah, thank you for always submitting your stories and being willing to do that for me. I appreciate it. And I love you guys. And I hope you guys have a fantastic first week of September. Don't put your Halloween decorations up yet. Don't do it quite yet. Give us 2 weeks into September. Mid-September, go for it. Just give us 2 weeks, okay? And then we can call it end of summer. I'm pretty sure the last day of summer is September 21st, right? Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next week. Bye.